Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, we have a great one. Long form, Lamar Jackson, Ravens. What happened? It was going to be such a great season. Nosedive, playoffs. What happened? I think this video is going to be a combination of a lot of things. A lot of football analysis, a lot of pass pro, a lot of concepts, a lot of scheme. Really long form. We go into a bunch of different plays. But I really think that there's a little bit of I told you so, a little bit of some people might be a little bit mad at me. Some things about where I think Lamar Jackson needs to get better, and then some things that just Lamar Jackson is just that good, and the league is going to try to catch up. Yeah, it didn't work out this year, but he's so young, so exciting. The future's so bright. I'm really excited. Let's dive into the film. Welcome to the QB School. All right, so before I dive into the film here, just want to take a second to talk about what a ridiculous year Lamar Jackson had. He is one of my favorite players in the league, definite MVP. If I was building a franchise besides Patrick Mahomes, he would be the player that I would want. I think he does things that no one in the league has ever done at that level, at that age. And so I think people are going nuts because they didn't necessarily fulfill what they thought was going to be a really special season. But what he's doing at the quarterback position, what he did the whole year, I think is really going to kind of change the NFL as far as what teams are looking for from that position and what the teams now think that they can do with a guy who's that type of athlete. Not that there are other guys that are that type of athlete, but you're moving away from being scared about running the quarterback or trying to hold things back. He is at a different level as far as athleticism with what they're doing scheme-wise all throughout the year. And so I really think this might be kind of the preview to what teams try to do, but not every team is going to be able to jump out and have a lead against them. They're not going to let the moment get a little bigger than it was, moving forward. I think this has the opportunity to be a great learning experience for Lamar Jackson. I don't think he played well. I think the film will show that, but I don't think he's the only one. And I don't know if it's just rust. I think it's a combination of that. I think you could make an argument that there were elements of rust, miscommunication, things that we didn't see during the regular season. But that could also be the fact that the Titans are playing pretty well right now, the hottest team in the league. You don't want to catch that team in the playoffs, especially when you haven't played or some of your key guys haven't played for 3 weeks. And so it's a culmination of all those things. But I think the film will show that there were errors across the board. But when your quarterback doesn't play well, and he's been playing that well at a different level than really anybody else the entire season, everyone kind of blows it out of proportion. And there's definitely this idea of a recency bias of this is the last thing you saw, this is what you think. But his body of work over the season was the next level. This video is not a dog whistle to any of those things. I don't think that, I'm not someone who's sitting here saying, I ever thought he's going to get hurt. You want him to get hurt. You don't want him to, you want him to fail, all those things because he's not the traditional quarterback. This is not that. I would love for him to be able to change the game and make it as exciting as he's made it over this season. It's exciting for me, someone who loves quarterback play, to be able to see someone do something at such a high level for so long that I don't think anybody's ever seen as far as the whole package. And so, yeah, it didn't go their way one game. I think he's still so young. I mean, even if he wasn't so young, even if he was in his mid-20s, the future is so bright for this guy, this franchise. I'm really excited to see what he does moving forward. But this film is going to hurt a little bit. There are going to be elements of, whether you agree with it or not, I think that this was a performance that you need to learn from, or else, you let this become the pattern and let the league kind of be able to come at you like this. I think he will. I think that there are already things in this film that over the course of the year, maybe even videos that I've done, that I'll try to point out that I think he's already better at. But now it's a combination of learning all those things, knowing where you're hot, understanding, there are elements of things that you do that might not be sound, and being able to make those, be able to adjust them, just like he did last offseason where he came in and was such a better passer right out the gate. This year, I think it's going to be a combination of many things, but I think the idea of being able to see things at the line of scrimmage, being able to understand where you're hot and know what free runners look like and know what defenses might be trying to do to adjust to you, because the league has to adjust to Lamar Jackson. He doesn't need to adjust his game. His game is next level. He just needs to keep getting better. In that, you have to understand that teams are going to adjust to you, and they're going to take all this film that's out there and watch to see what those adjustments look like. And now I think you start to see it when you see teams play them twice, when you start to see better teams in the playoffs. What are they trying to do? And so earlier videos, I love talking about all the things that he did at a really high level. I thought I showed some things that I thought were going to be able to that might come back to haunt them a little bit. I don't want to say that, I was right on with every single one of them. I certainly wasn't. But this idea about, that he didn't necessarily understand when he was hot or when he had free runners, I think got exposed a little bit. I think the fact that they throw outside the numbers, a lot of quick outs, a lot of outs, allowed those perimeter players for the Titans to sit on routes, make things more difficult than they had to be. And then I thought the Titans did a lot of really good things, keeping him in the pocket, containing him, having people at his feet, making him uncomfortable, all those things. And then I think that there were some elements of, the penalty on the first interception where he was able to, it's not immaturity, it's just the reaction, is as opposed to being like, hey, turnovers happen, go in there, make a tackle, on to the next one. It's okay, now you go at somebody high, you hold on too long, you're pissed, everybody gets it, you're a competitor, all those things are great, you just can't add on to it. And then it snowballed and felt like they couldn't get out of their own way. Even if he had a great statistical night, it always felt like nothing was easy, as opposed to during the season everything was so easy and smooth, and they couldn't handle him. Now all of a sudden it's a little tougher when you're behind. That kind of offense doesn't necessarily thrive when you're behind. So his ability to learn, okay, now how do I play from behind? I have to adjust my game. I can do these things. They're trying to do this to me to take this away. I need to adapt and be able to go from there. So let's dive into it. This is exactly what it would be like after a tough L. You might not watch a playoff game right away. You're coming back from minicamp. You got to watch this thing. Let's sit down, grind through it. We're going to go through a bunch of plays. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Let's dive into the film. All right, the first interception here, it's a combination of a few things. I think originally I thought that this was a drop. The more I look at it, especially from the all-22, this ball gets away from him a little bit. But I really think this comes down to a combination of things. The offensive line left a little pressure up the middle, and then he obviously sails the ball a little bit. You jacked up early in the game. Whatever reason, this was a big one for me, though. You just, whether it's injuries, whatever it is. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, it happens, even if it doesn't happen very often. This ending right here, that's the part where you're just like, you can't let the other team see that they got you. And what I mean by that is you don't want to see, you can't flinch. Even if something bad happens, and trust me, I don't have the greatest body language in the world by any means, but you can't go over there and take a penalty after you basically turn the ball over, whether it was totally your fault or not. But that type of, it's so uncharacteristic over the course of the year. That's not the guy sitting on the sideline with shades on. That's a guy who looks like the moment is too big. I don't think the moment is too big. I thought that right there, that ball needs to be caught. Watching it on TV, personal foul on the quarterback. I've gotten personal fouls, not for this type of stuff, but it happens. You love the fact that he's a competitor, but right here, okay, you go high. That little turn right at the end, it's just unnecessary. And that's the part where it's like, for your team, and for the other team, you can't let the team flinch. Yeah, they both have each other's face masks. They're both in it. Like, you could make the point that there's penalties all around. But this little turn right at the end, that just looks, Vrabel doesn't know what he's yelling at. That turn at the end just doesn't look like the moment is perfect for you yet. It looks like your frustrations have boiled over. Again, people who watch this channel know, when at the top of his drop, I've called him Tozy all year. He gets away with it because he's so athletic and he gets to a good throwing position eventually. But he is Tozy, and it becomes, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, causes inconsistency at the top of your drop. Right here, the ball sails on him. I think the ball probably should be caught. I think he can make a better throw. I think he makes a better throw 90% of the time. I think because the pass pro here, we'll see from the tight, there's someone at his feet. He's not quite able to step through it as well as he normally does. So we'll see it right here. I want to say it's the center and the left guard. Yeah. Now, they have issues up front all night. But again, just watch his drop. We talk about it all the time. Back of his drop. Tozy. But again, he gets to a good throwing position, but then there's someone right at his feet right there. And that D lineman does a nice job staying away from his feet, but that impacts the throw. It really does. Now, pass pro-wise, center here for me, we got a slide going, starting from the left guard to the right. As soon as that 3 technique, so spend a little time here, pass pro, because we're going to get into this in this video. As soon as this 3 technique, we got a 4-man slide. These 4 guys going this way. Center. As soon as this 3 technique, you're sliding this way. As soon as that 3 technique, exit to the B gap. This is the B gap, A gap, C gap. Okay. As soon as this 3 technique exits, he's not a threat to your A gap. He comes over here, engages the right guard. You got to get back You got to reset and go help your buddy, the left guard. You can't go out in no man's land and let this guy split y'all. You got to. This is essentially a 2-on-1. He's got his hand on him the whole time, giving him the kickstand to help him, but then he splits him. That impacts the throw. Now that would never come up in a TV commentary, but that impacts this interception. It just does. And to me, it's just a center right there. He goes, big gap. You got to come back. You got to engage him. Can't let him split that double team pass protection like that. You just can't. It's not winning football. And then it's compounded by the decision at the end to just throw him to the ground. You got him out of bounds right there. You go high. It's already a bad play. Both in each other's face masks, but the turn right at the end, just, so frustrating. You feel like it's too much. Then this was one that during the game, I thought this was a great throw. They're kind of running scissors down here to the bottom. He throws a dart on this corner or out. Just an absolute strike. Okay, this is a bad play from the quarterback perspective. This ball, this scissors concept, we'll run it one back one more time. A post and a corner down here to the bottom of the screen. This is a quarters beater. You are calling it expecting quarters. You're getting in this formation, this tight formation, Rams 2x2, expecting if you get quarters, you want to come out and this post is going to go big and score. And this 7 route or corner is going to come out and run it, basically turned into like a deep out. Well, the read on this thing is right here. The safety to the scissor side in quarters. He can't be right. He comes out, covers the corner, all right, or the post, then we got the corner. He goes with the corner, and we have leverage to the post. You have to throw it. It is a big play opportunity. This is a massive miss. Now, depending on how you grade these type of things, this is a great throw, nice pass protection, good play call, but this is a touchdown. This, to me, was the first sign watching the All-22 that he was playing too fast. And what I mean by that is he's processing some of these things, not letting them happen. There's nobody around him for 5 yards. You have to throw the post. It has to be thrown. Yeah, that is a strike. It's a beautiful throw. Don't get me wrong. Don't come at me in the comments. Yes, it's a beautiful throw, but it's not a touchdown. It's a 15-yard out of bounds, which is fine. Not even 15 yards, 10 yards. But you're calling it for the touchdown. It's a brutal miss. It's a brutal miss. And I've made plays like this, and I've been pissed when my coaches have been like, but you missed the first alert. And the truth is you just don't get opportunities like that very often to take a shot versus a perfect coverage. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I like his footwork there too. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All his cleats in the ground at the back. Not as toesy, balanced, one hitch, let it go, timing. But I mean, come on. Throw the post. That's a miss. That's a big miss of a read. And again, that's an indicator to me. You only get that watching the All-22. It's just a bummer to miss that post versus quarters like that. Then this is a massive play. I love the play call. Anybody who knows me is going to know that I'm going to love going for it on 4th down. But I want to talk about this. I can't stand this design of this play. I don't understand what is the value of having the tailback in the pistol here if you're not going to have him be a lead blocker or give him the ball. Move him out. Get somebody else out of the box. Do something with him. It's a terrible designed play. I don't like bashing, especially a guy who's been probably the best play caller, being able to reinvent what they do then. But this is a terrible play call. Now, it's also a poor run. We'll show it from a handful of different perspectives here from the back end. I want to watch a bunch of this and go into the detail here of what's going on. I'm not a run game, aficionado by any means, but this is just power. Okay, and it's an unbalanced line. So what that means is they just shift their front over in an odd front. So what I mean by unbalanced line, I'm sure most people understand that, is here's the center. Here's the center. Well, we have a tight end right here in the tackle position. So they take a tackle, move him over. I don't know the personnel that well. I'm going to guess it's this guy right here. He's going to come over. Well, what that does for the defense is they usually then just redeclare, shift everybody over, make this the center on the defensive call. Doesn't matter. What's going on here is that we're running power. We're going to get a double team right here, and we should get a double team right here. Now, the unique thing here is when you start messing with these unbalanced formations, it sometimes causes confusion about where you go on the double team. So these two usually pushing right here. These two usually pushing right here, 51. We're going to block back. We're wrapping through for first one to show. Probably 31, might be 50. You might not even have to call out the numbers. It might just be the first one off the double team. Either way, the way that I'm used to doing it is double team, first one inside, double team, first one inside. So these two right here, these two right here, we're blocking back, we're pulling through for 31, kicking out, fullback right there. Now it'd be even better if we had the tailback right here and he led the way, or he was over here and he pulled someone else out of there. But for whatever reason, we're just going to leave him back there to not do anything. So the first thing, let's just watch Lamar's track. Now, normally, I'm hesitant to tell runners exactly where to go. I like to tell runners to run through common color. Now you get two double teams right here on 90, 98 to the front side of the run. Right there, I don't know. That doesn't look like common color to me. I'm used to saying common color, meaning you want to run through two purples. So you got purple right here, purple right here. All right, you might be able to think you can go in there and get a yard right there. But for me on power, especially when you know you're going to have two double teams, you just want to follow the guard. And it's easy to say that with a clicker, but you need to follow the guard unless there's a wide-ass, huge hole through the backside. And there often is. But you can't make up your mind. You can't run in a closet. And that's what he kind of looks like right here. He plays a little hero ball and just says, I'm going to get it myself. Now, both these double teams. Now let's watch both the double teams. First, the double team on 90. Looks pretty good. Good ignition. I'd love to see him get a little bit more drive. Now, you don't know who they're coming off to or who they're not coming off to because I'm not in their run installs. But again, they get no drive here. First of all, and we're only watching this one right here. So this double team right here, these two guys right here need to drive his ass right into 51, in my opinion. Or he needs to at least come off. If you're going to stay on, you need to stay on and eject him from the club. But you can't give a stalemate on a double team. Now, the next one, and the one that I think really kind of impacts the play, is the tackle over and the tight end. So right here, we're going to go here, here. Well, for some reason, it looks like he steps with his wrong foot. And you don't know exactly how they're teaching it, but to me, he steps with his wrong foot, is laid off this thing, gets no push on this guy right here. Then he comes off to barely get into the inside. There's nowhere to go. And it's sloppy, and sometimes these things happen in unbalance because these guys aren't used to playing that side. Again, no push. The tight end is basically taking on the defensive end one-on-one there. But again, if that's how they want to block it, and let's just assume that that's how they wanted to do it, you need to follow your guard from the quarterback perspective. Follow the pulling guard. Follow the pulling guard. Yeah, there's going to be a DB there because you got your tailback not doing anything in the hole. What I mean by that is you got to follow this big guy. He's coming right here. Wherever he goes, that's right where the quarterback needs to be, right behind him. And it's probably going to come right off here. He's going to come around, wrap for 31. You come right around him and collision a corner for a first down. You just can't say, F it, I'm going to do what I want. And I get it that works sometimes. Double team, just run right into the back of somebody. Follow the guard. There it is. Comes right out the hole. Now again, the design stinks. The tailback not doing anything is just such a waste for me. I know I've gone off the deep end here, but this is such an important play in this game. For this to be the execution of it, it's just not good enough. It's just not from so many different standpoints, whether it's scheme, system, runner, double teams, all bad on many levels. All right, so the next series, they come out. They're going to put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hand. Come out for a little naked first down. Love this. Over. Now, it looks like it's covered, but to me, and we talk about it all the time on this channel, DB's turning with his back turn. All he's covering is the width of his shoulders. It's a drop. It's not the easiest catch in the world by any means. But again, I like this type of throw. I like this call. Come right back. Put it in your best player's hands. Come out. 24. Got his back turned. Here comes that over. So make sure we're all on the same page here. We got this over coming right here. Back turned. This flat is usually the first read. Here's that defensive end or defensive player. He goes to cover it. We got to come back out here on the outside, which is the number 3. So it's 1 to 2. He's got his back turned. All he's covering is the width of his shoulders. Give him a chance. Statistically, pretty small chance you're going to throw it right in his back. He does a nice job getting his hand up right at the last second, maybe impacting the play just a little, just enough. Again, you got to give them credit. It's a nice play. They run on second down, third down. Again, this is what I thought we'd see if you watch other videos of how I thought you defend Lamar Jackson. It's up on the line of scrimmage, confuse him, doesn't necessarily know where he is hot all the time. And again, I think they get him right here. We'll see it from the back end. But this is important for a few reasons. I think there's miscommunication on the perimeter. I think the guy at the bottom of the screen is running the route too deep. First of all, let's just watch the one on the bottom of the screen. He's running a comeback. Let's just assume he's at the right depth, which he's not. Because if you look at the guy at the top, he's at a different depth, and he's wide-ass open. Right? So just look at the corner's technique at the bottom. He is squatting. He is saying, bro, middle finger, you're not running by me on 3rd and 8. You're going to run something at the sticks. I'm going to squat and be right there to make the play. And he is. And that route stinks. He needs to run out of that comeback, whatever it is. Even if he's at the wrong depth, you got to run out of that thing at the bottom of the route. But again, combination, scheme, play call, calling plays at the sticks or just beyond the sticks on 3rd down. You're going to get guys sitting on it. Also, the fact that you never come out and throw vertically, just a 9 route on the perimeter, or you rarely do. So they're able to sit on it. But again, now, pass pro-wise, talked about this many times with Lamar Jackson. And it's not an indictment on him. It's many guys. We got a nickel out here that you can't see on the screen. We got basically 5 defensive lineman types. Take the nickel off. So there's a nickel out here. We got 5 basically bigs. Whether they're linebackers or defensive linemen, I don't care. 5, well, we got 5 offensive linemen. Okay? We got 1 back. Okay? We got a DB type out here who's a potential threat. He can come. We got a DB type out here that you can't see, the nickel, who can come. We have to know, the back has to know where he's going, who his first responsibility is, whether it's here or here. And then the quarterback has to know, and he has to adjust based on that. Now, right here, this back is coming all the way over here. He's not hesitating. He looks like he's coming across. Now, it looks like offensive line-wise that we're doing basically, whether it's a 5-0 or a fan, it doesn't matter. These 5 are responsible for those 5. Now, whether they say locked on here, locked on here, locked on here, and we get a molly or a pop out if someone else comes, if he bails out of here, if he drops, what do these guards do? Do they continue to fan, meaning come out together, or are they locked on and nobody knows? I don't know. I don't pretend to know. But I do know that there's all sorts of miscommunication here because the back looks like he's beelining across. The left guard looks like he's fanning. The right guard looks like he's fanning. And nobody looks like they're covering the quarterback's backside. Looks like the quarterback doesn't know or everybody else is wrong. I can't tell you who's right, who's wrong. Okay, normally in this, what you would imagine would happen, I'm spending way too much time talking about pass pro and the offensive line in this show, on this video, but whatever, it's important. Normally, you would go, the back would have, these guys would go 5-on-5. So these 5 defensive linemen, these 5 offensive linemen. The back would go 1 to the guy who's not on the screen, who ends up coming, all the way across, scan, 2. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that the 1 comes, so he's engaged, meaning right here. 1 comes, he's going to be engaged with the nickel who's not there. So now the quarterback is hot. 1, if both these guys come, we're going to be hot. But if he drops out, which he does, and you have a fan on, these 2 should fan into it, which is exactly what they do. So the quarterback needs to read both these guys. That's why you often see quarterbacks point 2 hands, point out, boop, boop, boop. That's it right there. Now, again, whether it's unsound scheme, whether it's unsound quarterback play, whether it's unsound pass pro, it's all of those things. Because you do not want to take 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw a comeback when you got a free runner. It's just not good for your livelihood. It's just not. This shows that like they don't understand what's going on, whether it's the back or the quarterback. It's bad, it's dangerous, it's unsound ball. It's all bad. Then we come back, variation of dagger up top. We're going to get a big in, 5-step drop, beautiful pocket movement by Lamar Jackson. The only reason I really put this one on there, because I love the pocket movement, it just is a little late to me. And again, it's a weird thing because he's playing the whole game. I thought he was playing fast, meaning going through stuff and I'm not seeing ghosts, but just playing the play too fast. So we get an inside number 3 on an in, and really this play is just a clear by the number 2 and a big in. And it's great versus cover 2 because you get the safety out of there with the clear route. You get the corner usually sitting, coming down on some sort of flat, and you get that inside release, wrap right around. I just thought it was a little late. Again, I'm putting it on there, nitpicky a little bit. This is a massive play, great protection, nice pocket movement, but again, it's late. There's never an anticipated throw. There's never an anticipated throw, which I think is scary. It needs to be developed over the offseason. He's sitting there waiting. There's nobody there. Nobody around him. Just late. And I know he had to move in the pocket, but again, it's late. To me, it's see it, throw it. And there's a lot of guys in the league that are see it, throw it guys. And you got to can it, but hitch, throw it right there. It's that last little confirmation. I just, right there, throw it. And it looks like he pats it, thinking he's going to throw it, but then doesn't for whatever reason. And again, huge play, wide open, but the consistency, the decision-making, the timing. Again, this is an example of playing too fast. I've played variations of this play, many different offenses. It's a fake ISO, and the fullback, the lead blocker, is coming up, running basically an inside seam. Now, I've always thought that you come up, bluff, and you come in here and run like a little seam or go route. It usually has a comeback or corner on the outside. And really, in my opinion, this is a great middle field open. But when you play, it's not dead versus middle field closed. Middle field closed, guy in the middle of the field. It's better versus quarters. But again, because he's so deep, now it turns into like a seam route, a little throttle. As soon as you get past this second level defenders right here, these linebackers come down for the ISO, you put it right behind him. That's the play. You're calling it for that. You're not calling it to come out and just throw a comeback off play action. It's wide open. He's getting through there too fast. Now, it takes a second, but he's running by him. There's a 15-yard cushion between him and the free safety. Right there. Got to put it on him. Can't miss that. These misses are on the quarterback. There's no way around it. And then obviously heel click at the top that we talk about on this channel a lot. Super toesy. Going to be inconsistent with your accuracy, especially outside the numbers. Don't love this route. Again, the corner is sitting on him. He's saying, bro, you are never going to run a vertical from right there, especially with this ridiculous stem, whatever that stem is he's running. Looks like he's doing like a, I don't know, cone drill. I just don't love that type of stuff. Corner squatting on it. Again, not a terrible throw by any means, but you miss a wide open seam that you're calling the play for. Watch the tight end fullback running through here. It's a great play, old school play. He's going to come through. He's going to come through and bluff the guy he would normally block in ISO and then come up and run the seam. All these guys coming downhill. Beautiful. Love the play call. So good. There it is. Whoop. He's off of him, though. Now, I played this play enough to know that this guy will occasionally get collisioned. Like if 54, boom, jacks him right there, you're in trouble. But it's his job to slip him. Whoop. Got him. If he doesn't get collision, you got to throw that ball. Massive miss. Just too many misses. Especially he just doesn't do that. Then this is another example of, for me, either guys being on the wrong page or just a lack of anticipation. So this ball needs to go to the corner, down here to the bottom of the screen. And they come back and run this later. I don't think I put it in the video just as the thing is too long as it is. But for me, there's all sorts of issues here. It's a corner, deep out, whatever you want to call it. He comes out later in the game and throws this little short in, I think, on the same play. But to me, this stem of this route is crazy long. Like way too long. Whether that's the design or whether that's the receiver going rogue, whatever it is. He needs to come out and just bend this thing right into green grass money. But quarterback-wise, still, you need to take 3, hitch, let it go. Throw a touch ball, anticipate all the way over here, just like every other quarterback in the league does, or just about any good quarterback in the league does. 1, 2, 3, hitch, let it go. It's wide open. This is an anticipation throw right here. Get out here and just dump it out here and let your guy go run to it. You can't hold on to the ball here for this long. Now, does he go too far? Yeah. Yeah, but, who knows? Unless you're in the wide receiver room, you don't know what the depth of this thing is supposed to be. But I will tell you, you should be able to take 3, hitch, and throw a corner that's wide open. You have to be able to. It's wide open. You have to take 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw it right there. So that's another element that you look for his development to be a lot better next year. But again, they do a nice job Titans-wise. Not all going to put it all on the Ravens. Titans did a nice job defensively, getting pressure up the middle, making things tough for them. Again, this is a 4-man slide to 3 guys to our left, their right. These 4 go into these 3. Okay, and really 58, but he's not going to blitz. So when these 2, when he comes over, I want to say he comes over and takes the other A gap. This is essentially a double team. Coming this way, you need to double team these guys. Especially, you can't let him come into the other A gap, spin back, and get to your quarterback's feet because you're trying to be a hero and go take someone's head off on the other side of the line of scrimmage that has no impact to the play. This is the little nuanced details, pass pro, that impact your pass game. Like, what are you doing, left guard? Don't do that. Protect your gap, protect your quarterback. Don't, for what? Selfish, bad pass pro. Terrible. Come back here on a few of these crucial plays. I want to show the quarterback. Again, the full-on TV version here. This was just a ridiculous play. In the last video, talked about with when they played Cleveland, they run this 5 vertical play. Again, I never seen anybody outside 7-on-7 run this type of play, but he's great at it. Had a great touchdown pass against the Browns with it. Has a great touchdown pass later in the game with it. Has a great throw right here with it. This is a ridiculous throw. Ridiculous throw, ridiculous catch. I don't necessarily understand it other than the fact that they think Lamar Jackson is the check down, so it doesn't matter. He can just save him with his feet. But this is a dime. This is a dime. Beautiful catch, too. Not taking anything away from the catch. But this is a straight-up strike. So 5 verticals. He throws it to the guy with the tightest coverage. I love it. It's a little bizarre to me that the way that they play these things. Like, they're never going to, unless you're the Patriots, you're rarely going to throw a go route to, I think this is a back down here. But all these guys, seam, attack the middle of the field, seam, vertical. I mean, it's aggressive. To me, if you were playing just 3 deep, you'd have 3 guys who could cover 5, but what do I know? He does a great job fitting it in. It's an absolute seed. One thing I will show you from the tight is I love Lamar Jackson's eyes here. Pay attention to this because you only got 5 guys rushing or 5 guys blocking. They're going to block one side up, and you're going to be hot off the other side. So you need to peek usually in these type of empty pass pros. No matter what you do, you're going to have some sort of edge that you might have a potential threat on. We'll see his eyes right here. This is excellent quarterback play. Catch it, peek to your left to see if you're hot or not. Come back, throw a seam all the way down the field right there. Really nice. Just that subtle little peek, check, 1, 2, 3, hitch, boom. Strike. Really nice. Expect that middle field player to break that thing up. Really nice. Then you come back here. This is a strip sack. This is a bummer on many different levels. Now, I know a lot of offensive line coaches hate these chips. I'll talk about Ingram down here at the bottom. Chipping when we look at the all-22. But right here, you got to throw that ball away. This is on the quarterback. Now, it's not all on the quarterback. But right here, after you get a threat, you do a nice job eluding it. Right there, you got to throw the ball or get up the field. Can't stay like that. That's a time clock. You got to have more awareness. And you just don't see that from him, or we haven't seen it from him the entire year. So it's a unique thing. You don't get to see him make that mistake very often. From there, though, from the all-22, you really get to see exactly what's going on. I'll show from the back end. This is more of a football philosophical thing. I love chips. I think that there's a time and a place. I know the Ravens left tackles had an unbelievable year, for a bunch of different reasons. But when they motion Ingram out right here, we'll see it from the back end, he's basically going to chip that defensive end and basically stunt him through the B gap and get right past the overset from the left tackle, who's then able to come in there and get a play on Lamar Jackson. I think without the chip, it never happens. Now, it's just philosophically, if you're going to chip to take shots down the field, You have to know this both as the back and as the tackle, that there's an opportunity that the guy might get chipped. You always want to say you never want to get chipped off of him. So watch Ingram on the left, boom, chip, and he basically turns him into an explosive stunt. Boom, and he's inside. As opposed to the normal pass set where he would be perfectly lined up at left tackle. Now you basically chip him off of the track. And so that oftentimes, you'll see on the other side what happens. A little slower chip, barely gets a hand on him. But again, usually what I like to tell people, what I've heard it coach the best, is that you want a chip to put a defensive end back onto the tackle or onto the offensive lineman. So you don't want to come out and cheap shot and blow him into the B gap for no reason, give him a free runner. You want to sit here and basically be a buffer and be able to be like, okay, if he takes a crazy outside path, then I'm going to chip him right here and put him back onto the tackle. You don't want to chip him off the tackle's path and pass set. That's all on the back. That's on the scheme. That's on how they're teaching. That's on execution. That's on Ingram. But right here, you got to throw it away. Now, I know he's trying to check it down right here, and there's a linebacker right in his way. But if there's a linebacker in your way, you can't double pump it. You got to get up the field. Get up the field. He can't play both of you. He's going to play the check down. You got to get up the field, strip sack, all bad. Now you're a thumbnail. You know, it's a combination, right? It's not just Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson is playing a crucial role. And then this was just a bummer on so many levels. This is bad quarterback play, bad all around. Great job by the Titans, knowing these quick outs are coming. You know, he hit so many of them all year. Did a great job against the Browns hitting them because they were easy money. He thinks they're easy money. He just gets confused. It's unsound. He doesn't really realize what's going on, especially third down. Third down and short. They're going to be playing the sticks. They're going to be anticipating this. The Browns actually ran the exact same coverage versus the exact same route. Didn't get it. Didn't get a pick. But that was less than a month ago in football time. It's a great play. Great catch. Nice defensive play. But again, you throw a quick out behind a wide receiver for a pick, you're lucky it's not a pick six because he had to stretch out and make a ridiculous catch. But that's just it's so bad on so many levels. We'll see it right here. This, again, unsound. To me, he doesn't know that he's hot. Let's watch it a few times, show from the back end too. This is 2 invert. You call it whatever you want. It's basically cover 2. And really, it's like a 2 dog zone, like old school Steelers. It's just cover 2 with the corner playing the half field. So it looks like he's just off, giving you free access, easy to run, easy to throw a quick out. Exactly what they want it to look like right there. But he's actually playing half field back here, and we're going to get a run out underneath from the linebacker type DB, and he's going to come out and just make a ridiculous play. Now the problem is that, again, we're hot up top, and he doesn't know it. We've got 5 guys staying in. It looks like, well, it doesn't look like. They are going to right here or right here. These 6, they're accounting for 5 of those 6. They're not accounting from this guy coming from, you know, I don't love 4x1 sets, but the guy who's outside the number 3 in a 4x1 set, he's going to come and be free. Now, just because he doesn't get there doesn't mean that it's not sound. Doesn't mean that they know what's going on. This is what the All-22 reveals here. If he doesn't throw this quick out, he's going to get popped. Again, 2 invert. Watch the corner up top, sitting, cloud corner. You got an option up top. Now, if you know you're hot, like he should be looking to the right, peek to the right, see he's hot, throw that option route to the number 2 right on the 30. Don't love that route. He should just go up, turn around. But again, he thinks he's got an easy money. The split down here, bottom of the numbers, it's a high alert, quick out split. Every defender is going to know that. Nice play, and they make the play. But that's scouting. That's knowing what they did against the Browns, knowing what they did all year, and then going out and making a play. The ball's a little bit behind him. But, really bad. And again, to me, he doesn't know that he's hot to the right. And I think that's the scariest part for me. Now, he might think, it doesn't matter. I can get the ball out. And he does this time. Again, just like I show on the last videos. And it comes out all funky sideways behind him. But still, I think he got confused and tried to pull it back a little bit. Here comes that 5 vertical. Again, later in the game, now things a little bit out of hand. They call 5 verticals. He obviously loves this play. And it's just crazy to me that it works. And really what we're getting here is almost like a quarters match type setup where you're getting double teams. These two safeties just kind of hanging in here. Middle field open, but really it's just man underneath here. So we got man, 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 and these two guys are just kind of hanging for double teams, trying to play double these three underneath. Doesn't matter. They don't. Lamar Jackson does a great job seeing this play. Throw the ball high. Give his guy a chance. Not a perfect throw, but pretty darn good. Again, I love the fact that he's just good at it. They call it. They should call it more, to be honest with you. Boom. Strike. Nice catch. Great job going up to get it. Really nice job. Again, 5 verticals. Something he's good at, he does. Now, this was one of those plays it's a crucial play, but it's not in hindsight. But right here, a lot of time left. Over 10 minutes, fourth quarter, you're making a push. You got a chance to go within 2 scores. And I despise this play call. Just roll out to the right, try to get a rub. They're all over this rub. Look at the number 2s. Get up, squeeze them, end up throwing just a jump ball. You got, first of all, the percentages, the analytics tell you to run the ball. Think about, you got the best running quarterback maybe in the history of the game. Give him a chance. Get the RPO going. Get him on the edge. Get him threatening downhill. Get something. Just running sideways, throwing back shoulder corners. Just not good enough. And it encompasses the entire night, in my opinion. Just not good enough. After that, I was like, that's such a bad play call. Just run the ball. Give him a chance. Spread him out. Do something. But again, just this little rub at the bottom of the screen. You're going to rub, come up, run a corner. Well, they got you by leverage here, the way that they play this rub. So now you run in the corner into outside leverage, try to throw a back shoulder, bounces up, never even close to making it happen. Again, I just don't love the fact that this would have been a nice time to run it, to give your guy a chance to use his athleticism to run this thing in, as opposed to throwing it. But again, you see the back shoulder on the corner. It's there. Just got to go up, make that play with your hands, a little bit better ball, higher. But again, just don't love the play call. All right, well, let me know what you think about my analysis. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can. I thought that, again, there's so many things. This film is just going to be tough for Ravens fans on many levels. I think nothing to take away from the Titans. They did a great job. They capitalized on a bunch of things. I thought schematically they had a really good plan. They executed, made plays on the ball. But again, just some uncharacteristic things, whether it's rust, whether it's scheme, whether it's pass pro, whether it's decision-making, whether it's hero ball. When all those things come together, frustrating, really rough night, but great season. And I'm really excited. I love watching Lamar Jackson play. Love the fact that he just does things that nobody else does. What they're doing with him in Baltimore is really exciting. I think he's got just a ridiculous future in the league. Again, I'm really excited. I don't care. 1 year, young guy, lost in the playoffs. Guy's going to be unbelievable for a really long time. I'm excited. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already and you made it this far in the video, you should probably think about subscribing. Hit the bell, make it happen. I really appreciate the support. Get closer and closer to 50,000. I really appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who's supporting the channel. Thanks so much. Have a good one. See you next time.